All right, so get this. We're diving into this fictional podcast script.
Huh.
It's supposedly from 2025, and it imagines Elon Musk like deep in U.S. politics.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, like, could he really become a tech czar? You know? And what would a Martian democracy even look like? I mean, we're not trying to predict the future or anything.
Right.
But we could unpack the ideas in this script and kind of see how plausible they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's called The Political Pulse.
Okay.
And one of the things that really struck me was how they depict 2025 as, like, even more politically polarized than it is now.
Yeah, it's interesting because they depict a really strained two-party system.
Right.
And, like, Gen Z is just totally disillusioned with both sides.
Ugh.
Like, can you imagine?
And they're pushing for all these, like, alternative political models.
It's why it really makes you think about where things are headed, like, in our own reality.
Definitely.
And then there's the whole thing about how technology is, like, this huge factor.
Oh, it's like AI automation, the spread of misinformation. It's all shaping this fictional 2025.
Mm-hmm.
They even talk about deepfakes impacting the 2024 election. Like, that's scary.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a realistic prediction?
I mean, it's definitely possible, right? We've already seen how technology can be used to manipulate, like, public opinion and, interfere with elections.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So the script kind of just takes those existing trends and, projects them a few years into the future.
Yeah, it's not that far-fetched when you think about it.
Right.
And then, of course, you've got Elon Musk in the mix.
Oh, of course.
Like, he's this tech politics maverick,
Mm-hmm.
criticizing both Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah, they make him out to be pretty vocal.
Yeah, totally.
About, regulations hindering Tesla's self-driving technology.
Yeah, he's always complaining about the NHTSA slowing things down.
Exactly. He argues that, like, their current testing standards are just, holding back the development and rollout of fully autonomous vehicles.
He thinks he could save lives, though.
Right. That's his argument. Yeah. He believes that faster adoption of these technologies, could revolutionize transportation and, make things safer.
But isn't there the other side to that, too? Like, safety concerns.
Of course, there are definitely counter-arguments about, the need for robust oversight and making sure these things are safe before.
Or they're just, like, out there on the roads.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But yeah, the script definitely plays up Musk's frustration with the pace of progress.
And it goes so far as to say he could become, like, a tech czar.
A tech czar. Wow.
Yeah, in some future administration. I mean, could that even happen?
Well, I mean, it's highly speculative, right? Like, the U.S. political system is...
It's complicated.
Super complex, yeah, and there's no precedent for such a role.
Sure.
But, it does make you think about how much influence these tech billionaires have in politics these days.
Yeah, he's got the resources for sure.
He does.
SpaceX, working with NASA, Tesla's leading in, like, green energy, and of course, X.
Oh, yeah, formerly Twitter.
Right, exactly. He controls the whole thing.
And the script suggests he could use all of that to push his agenda.
Oh, interesting.
It specifically highlights, like, 3 key areas he might focus on.
Okay, let's hear it. What's the first one?
Well, first you've got regulatory streamlining.
Okay.
Particularly for AI and autonomous vehicles.
Right, because he hates all those regulations.
Exactly. Imagine him pushing for, like, a total overhaul of how these technologies are regulated.
So, like, less red tape, basically.
Basically, yeah, he'd probably prioritize speed of development.
Even over safety.
Potentially, yeah. It's like he's got this vision of the future.
And he wants to get there fast.
Exactly.
What's the second area?
Space exploration, of course.
Oh, baby.
We all know about his goal of colonizing Mars by 2030, right?
Oh, yeah.
The script suggests he might use his political pull to secure a massive public-private partnership to actually make it happen.
Like a U.S.-led Mars mission.
Yeah.
With SpaceX at the helm? That would be huge.
It would be huge, but, with Musk, is it really that unrealistic?
I mean, you're right. He does tend to get what he wants.
Exactly. And the script even hints that this Mars focus could be part of a much bigger vision.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. What's this bigger vision all about?
Well, they kind of imply that Musk's ultimate goal might be bigger than just influencing U.S. politics,
Okay.
Remember, he's all about making humanity a multi-planetary species.
Yeah.
So Earth and the U.S. specifically, it's almost like a stepping stone to something bigger.
Whoa, so you're saying he sees this as like a test run for Mars?
Kind of, yeah. The script even talks about his vision for a Martian democracy.
Like, what would that even look like?
Well, they describe it as having direct participation.
Oh.
No career politician.
That's so different from our system.
Totally. It's almost like he sees Mars as this blank slate.
A chance to start over?
Exactly. A chance to build a new, kind of society from scratch.
That's fascinating.
Oh.
So is that what he's doing here? Like all the political stuff, the technology, it's all just prep for life on Mars?
It's a very interesting question, and it leads to the third area where the script suggests he might exert his influence, free speech and X.
Oh, right. He's big on that whole open dialogue thing.
He is, but hasn't that also raised concerns about misinformation?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, some people say his approach could create a breeding ground for propaganda and, harmful content.
Yeah, it's a tricky balance, right?
Yeah.
So how does the script see this playing out?
Well, they suggest he could use X to shape political narratives.
Interesting.
Maybe even support candidates who align with his vision.
So like a real power player.
Exactly. Imagine a world where someone like Musk can influence elections through a platform like X.
It's kind of scary when you think about it.
It is. It raises a lot of questions about the role of social media in our democracy.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But that's just scratching the surface. The script also goes into his ideas about education, healthcare, even how we might interact with the government in the future.
Okay, let's dig into that. What does it say about education?
Well, it seems like he wants to shake things up big time.
Like how?
He thinks the traditional system is totally outdated.
Okay.
It doesn't prepare students for the jobs of the future, with all the tech and stuff.
So what's the solution?
Well, he thinks education should be more personalized and tech-driven.
I can see that.
The script even mentions him using his own companies like Neuralink.
Whoa, Neuralink in education.
Yeah, imagine students learning complex concepts just uploaded right to their brains.
That's crazy.
Or interacting with virtual environments that simulate real-world scenarios.
It's like straight out of science fiction.
Right. But it could revolutionize how we learn.
I mean, it sounds cool, but also kind of freaky.
Oh yeah, there are definitely ethical concerns.
Like who controls the information? What about bias?
Exactly. The script actually brings up those points. In this fictional 2025, there are debates about the implications of using Neuralink for education.
Makes sense.
Some people argue it could make inequality worse, create a new digital divide.
Right, because not everyone would have access to that kind of technology.
Exactly. It's a lot to think about.
Yeah, this script really gets you thinking about the potential and the downsides of all this new tech.
It does. It also touches on Musk's ideas about healthcare.
Oh, yeah, he's into that too, right?
Yeah, through Neuralink, again, they're working on brain implants to treat neurological conditions.
That's right, I forgot about that.
So the script suggests he could push for more investment in these cutting-edge medical technologies.
Especially anything to do with the brain, it seems like.
Right, brain health longevity. He seems pretty interested in extending human lifespans.
So it's not just about escaping to Mars. He wants to live longer here, too.
It seems that way. The script portrays him as someone who's just driven to solve big problems,
Whether it's space travel technology or even aging.
Exactly. He wants to push the boundaries of what's possible.
I mean, you got to admire his ambition.
Definitely. And it doesn't stop there.
Yep.
The script suggests he might even have some radical ideas about how we interact with the government.
Okay, now I'm curious.
They hint at him wanting a more streamlined and efficient government.
Like cutting through the red tape.
Exactly. Maybe even using AI to automate certain processes.
Government run by algorithms. That's kind of wild.
It is, but the script explores both sides of it. It could be more efficient and transparent.
Sure.
But who's accountable, And what about bias in the algorithms?
Yeah, those are good points.
It's definitely a double-edged sword.
So we've got AI in education, in healthcare, and government. What about climate change?
That's in there too. The script portrays a world where the U.S. is still struggling to meet its emissions targets.
Nothing new there.
Right. But that's where Musk's companies like Tesla and Solar City come in.
Yeah, he's already a big player in the renewable energy game.
Exactly. And the script suggests he could push for even stronger action on climate change.
Like what kind of action?
Well, they mention things like advocating for a carbon tax.
To get businesses to cut their emissions.
Right, and investing in next-gen clean energy technologies like fusion power.
Fusion power. That would be amazing.
It would be a game changer, but it's still pretty far off.
Yeah.
But Musk is all about those ambitious goals.
He thinks big, that's for sure.
And he believes technology is the key to solving the climate crisis.
It's interesting this whole deep dive isn't really just about Elon Musk, is it?
That's right. It's about the bigger picture.
It's about the role of technology and powerful individuals in shaping our future.
Exactly. Musk's potential influence is just one example. We're living in this era of rapid technological change and, increasing political polarization.
It's a lot to take in.
It is. And people like Musk, with their wealth and their platforms, they have the potential to really influence where we're headed.
It's exciting and a little scary at the same time.
I agree. That's why it's so important to stay informed based about, question assumptions and really engage in these discussions about the future.
We can't just sit back and let things happen to us.
Right. We need to be active participants in shaping the world we want to live in.
Speaking of shaping the future, this script throws out this crazy idea that Musk's ultimate goal might be even bigger than influencing U.S. politics.
Oh, yeah. They hint that he sees Mars as more than just a backup plan.
Like, it's not just about survival. It's about building something new.
Right. A Martian society that operates differently and maybe incorporating some of the ideas he's pushing here on Earth.
Like direct democracy and streamlined government.
Exactly. A Martian utopia designed by Elon Musk.
Now, that's a concept I'd love to explore further.
It's the big question, isn't it? Is everything he's doing here, the politics, the technology, is it all just a stepping stone to this grand vision of a Martian civilization?
It really makes you think.
It does, and it raises even more questions about Musk's potential impact, not just on America, but on humanity as a whole.
This deep dive has given us a lot to ponder, that's for sure.
From government by algorithm to a Martian colony, the future is full of possibilities and challenges.
So we've been talking about this fictional 2025 where Elon Musk is like this political powerhouse pushing for all these crazy ideas.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
Neuralink in schools, a Martian colony. It's
Right.
wild. But what does it all mean for us, like, right now?
Well, I think the script gives us a good way to think about the trends that are already shaping our world. Like whether or not Musk actually becomes a tech czar or takes us to Mars. The questions it raises are super relevant today.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, how much power should tech companies have? How do we deal with misinformation? What's the role of government in all of this?
It's a lot.
It is. And the script doesn't really say whether Musk's influence is good or bad. It just shows both sides.
Right, like regulatory streamlining could be great for innovation, but it could also lead to problems with safety or ethics.
Exactly. So it's all about critical thinking. We have to be careful and really consider the pros and cons of all these new ideas.
Technologies.
And technologies is like we're constantly being bombarded with new stuff.
It's overwhelming sometimes.
It is, but that's why it's so important to stay informed and question what we see and hear and, have these conversations about the future.
We can't just be passive observers. We have to be active participants.
Exactly. We have a say in how things turn out.
One thing I noticed is the script mostly focuses on the U.S., but Musk's companies and his ideas, they have a global reach.
That's a good point. They don't really talk about the global implications much.
So, like, if his vision goes beyond America, what could that mean for the rest of the world?
That's a huge question, right? Imagine the impact of Neuralink or a Martian colony on a global scale.
It's kind of mind-blowing.
It could change everything, international relations, economies, even our culture.
It's both exciting and terrifying at the same time.
That's the thing about the future, right? We don't know what's going to happen, but we can at least be prepared.
By staying informed, asking questions, and thinking critically.
Exactly. The more we know and the more we engage, the better equipped we'll be to deal with whatever comes our way.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with one thought. The future isn't something that just happens to us.
We have the power to shape it.
Whether it's having these conversations, supporting ethical innovation, or just staying curious about the world around us, we can all make a difference.
That's a great way to put it. The future is a collaborative effort.
And the more we know and the more we work together, the better that future will be.
Couldn't agree more.
So on that note, we'll end our deep dive here. Thanks for joining us on this exploration of Elon Musk and the future. Until next time, stay curious.